Hi everyone, this is Reema, your biology educator from V-Learning. So as you know that V-Learning is an online educational platform where we provide quality education for all. So to get all the benefits from our channel, do subscribe to it, and also don't forget to visit to our website, that is www.v-learning.in, where you will be getting all the pre-recorded videos, the live classes, the animated videos, and also the PDF notes of all these topics. So let's begin today's class. So what we are going to learn in today's class? So we are going to start with your new chapter, that is chapter number 8. So which is what? Chapter number 8 is body fluids and circulation. So what do you mean by the body fluids and circulation? That is, in this chapter you are going to learn about what? You are going to learn about the blood vessel, the heart, how the transportation of the food is taking place inside our body. Okay, so you know that the blood, the lymph, they are responsible for transporting the materials, okay, from one part of the body to the another. So the main organ which is responsible for circulation in our body is the heart, right? So we are going to learn about the human heart under this chapter, and also you'll be learning about the ECG. What do you mean by double circulation? Okay, what are the various diseases, what are the various heart diseases? So all these things you will learn under this chapter. So today you are going to learn about what? Today you are going to learn about blood. Okay, today you are going to learn about blood. Okay, so this is your lecture number 1. So let's begin. So fluid for transportation in human. So what are the fluids necessary for the transportation of human? So the fluids which are necessary for the transportation of human are, the most important fluid is your blood. Okay, is the blood. Okay, second fluid which is necessary is the lymph. Okay, lymph is also one of the fluid which is necessary for the transportation of certain compounds. Okay, so see, blood is divided into two parts. One is what? One is the plasma. Okay, one is the plasma, and another is what? Another is the blood cells. So you know that we take different types of food in our day-to-day life, right? So all these foods are what? Broken down into that is simplest form. So it is converted into what? Glucose. So the glucose, that is the energy which we'll get, it is transported through the blood. Okay, so blood is what? Blood is responsible for transferring the nutrients, transferring the minerals inside our body. Okay, and also it is responsible for transporting of the that is exchange of the gases. It also removes the waste materials from our body. Okay, so what is this blood? Blood is the most commonly used body fluid by most of the higher organisms, including humans, for this purpose. Okay, so blood is what? Blood is most commonly what? Most commonly used fluid. Okay, most commonly used body fluid. So another is what? Is the lymph. Okay, another is lymph. So it is another body fluid which helps in the transport of certain substances. Now see, so as you know that plasma and blood cells. So there are three parts in the blood cells, that is RBC, WBC and platelet. Okay, so these are the three components of the blood cells. Okay, all together these three are known as what? These are known as formed elements. Okay, these are known as formed elements. All right, yes. So see, blood is a special connective tissue. What is this? It is a connective tissue. You have studied that there are different types of connective tissue, right? So under that you have learned about the epithelial tissue, then connective tissue, then muscular tissue, and the neural tissue. So you have learned that there are different types of connective tissue like blood, then the bone, right? These are all what? These are all the connective tissues. So that connects from one part of the body to another. Okay, it is consisting of a fluid matrix, plasma, and the formed elements. Now you know what are the formed elements, right? That is the RBC, WBC and platelets are the formed elements. Okay, and the components of blood are plasma, okay, and then WBC, RBC and platelets. These are the components of the blood. Okay, next, Plasma. So let us learn about plasma. What is this plasma? Okay, now this plasma, okay, so if you take the blood, okay, if you take the blood of a person, this is the blood. Okay, now how you are going to separate the plasma and the various formed elements? Okay, we can separate these using a technique that is known as ultra centrifugation. Ultra centrifugation. With the help of this technique, you can separate the plasma and the various blood cells. So what happens in this technique, the collected blood is rotated at a very high speed. Okay, like in your home you have that mixer grinder, right? So it exactly works in that way. It separates, okay, it separates the various components of the blood. So when it is rotated at a very high temperature, so you will see that the suspension, okay, the suspension part on the top, okay, that is known as supernatant. Okay, what it is known as? It is known as supernatant. Okay, that is the suspension part. It is the plasma. Okay, it is the plasma. Whereas here you will find some WBC. Here you will find some WBC, and here all these things, okay, all these things will be the RBC, okay, will be the RBC. So the percentage of the RBC is 45%. The percentage of RBC is what? The percentage of RBC is 45%. WBC is 1%. And the plasma, the percentage of the plasma is what? The percentage of the plasma is 55%. Okay, 55%. Clear? So yes, see, constitute, yeah, it is a straw color. Okay, so what is the color of the plasma? It is a straw color viscous fluid. Okay, so it constitutes 55%. Okay, 55% of the blood. So the percentage of the plasma is what? It is 55%. Okay, so 90 to 92% of the plasma is water. 90 to 92% of the plasma is what? Water, and protein is only 6 to 8% of it. So 90 to 92%, 90 to 92% of plasma is water, and protein is how much? It is 6 to 8% is protein. Okay, 6 to 8% is protein. Now what are the various protein present in plasma? Okay, plasma has got three types of protein present in it. So what are the three proteins present in it? Fibrinogen, globulins and albumins. Okay, what are the three proteins? Fibrinogen, okay, globulins and the albumins. These are the three major protein which is present in the plasma. So here I am writing that is albumins, albumin, okay, then fibrinogen, and next one is what? Globulin. Okay, globulin. These are what? These are the three major protein which is present in plasma. So see, so what is the function of this fibrinogen and then globulin, right, and albulin? So albulin, the first one you have seen that albulin, okay, so ALBUMIN, right, albumin, sorry, albumin, right? So what is the function of this albumin? So this albumin is a solute, which goes and reacts with the H2O of the blood. Okay, so what is the function of this? Albumin is a solute which goes and reacts with the H2O of the blood. Next is what? Fibrinogen. right? So what is the function of this fibrinogen? Fibrinogen is necessary for the clotting. So whenever you will see that there you got a cut in your finger, right? So after some time the blood stops or not, right? It will stop, isn't it? So this is because of what? This is because of the clotting factor, that is fibrinogen. It helps in clotting. It helps in what? It helps in clotting of blood. Clotting of what? Clotting of blood. And it has what? It has factor number 13, which is very much essential for the process of clotting. Clear? So yes, see here, fibrinogen are needed for the clotting or coagulation of the blood. So it forms like thin fiber like structures, okay, thin fibers, which helps in the clotting. So globulins, next one is what? Next one is globulin, right? So what is the function of this globulin? Globulin consists of the immune cells, okay. What it consists? It consists of the immune cells, okay. They are also known as immunoglobulin, all right. So they are also known as immunoglobulin, which is responsible for fighting against the antigen, okay, which is responsible or which fights against what? Which fights against antigen. Whenever any antigen attacks our body, it gets activated, okay, and it fights against the antigen. So globulin primarily are involved in defense mechanism, okay. So whenever any pathogen attacks our body, this globulins, it is responsible for fighting against the pathogen, okay. So and albumins help in the osmotic balance, okay. So as I said that it is a solid which reacts with the water. So what it does, it helps in maintaining the osmotic balance. Clear? So these are the three function of what? These are the three function of plasma, okay. So these are the three function of the plasma proteins, right? Next, let us see that plasma contains small amount of minerals. What are the minerals? That is sodium, right? Then calcium, manganese, then bicarbonate and chloride, okay. So these are the what? These are the minerals which are present in the plasma. So glucose, amino acids, lipids, etc. are also present in the plasma as they are always in transit in the body. So factors for coagulation or clotting of the blood are also present in the plasma in an inactive form, okay. Plasma without the coagulating factor called serum. So you have seen that in the plasma fibrinogen is present, right, which helps in coagulation. So plasma which is not having the coagulating factor, it is known as what? It is known as serum, okay. So what is this serum? Plasma without coagulating factor. Plasma without coagulating factor is called as serum. All right. So this is serum. Now, so next, let us learn about the formed elements. We have learned about the plasma, right? So blood is divided into two parts. That is, one is plasma, another is the formed elements, where you will be learning about the RBC, WBC and platelets, okay? So the formed elements are what? Erythrocytes means RBC, erythrocytes, then what? Leukocytes means WBC, and the platelets are collectively called as the formed elements. Next, they constitute nearly 45% of the blood. So they constitute nearly how much? That is 45% of the blood, okay. So erythrocytes or RBC cells are the most abundant cells in the body. So RBC cells are the most abundant cells, okay. So they are what? They are the most abundant cells. Then in RBC you will not find nucleus. The RBC cells, they lack the nucleus, okay, and they are concave or spherical in shape, okay, spherical in shape, right? So a healthy human man has an average of 5 million to 5.5 millions of RBC, okay? So how much? 5 to 5.5 million. So RBCs are formed in the bone marrow of the adult, okay? Now what is this bone marrow? So where RBCs are being formed? It is formed in the bone marrow, okay? Now what is this bone marrow? Now, this bone marrow are the soft bones, okay? These are present in the bones of our thighs, okay, or the legs, okay? So, these are the soft bones which are present inside, these are the soft tissue which are present inside the bones, okay? So, from where what happens? RBC, that is red blood cells, is synthesized. So, a bone marrow consists of stem cells, okay, where the stem cells are regenerated, okay? So this is how the RBC is produced, okay? It is produced from the bone marrow. So RBC are devoid of nucleus, so no nucleus, okay? There is no nucleus, and in most of the mammals they are biconcave in shape, okay? So how they are? They are biconcave in shape, okay? The shape is like this. They are biconcave, okay? So they are biconcave in shape. They have a red color iron containing complex which is called as hemoglobin, okay? So what is the red pigment present in blood? That is the hemoglobin, right? So hemoglobin is what? It is a red pigment which is present in the blood, and because of which our blood is red in color. So what it gives? It gives color to the blood, right? So hemoglobin is what? It is a red color pigment which is present in the blood, because of which our blood is red in color, right? So it consists of hem group of protein, okay? Hem group of protein, and what you find here? So you will find iron, okay? You will find iron here, right? So yes, hence the color and name of the cells. Next, a healthy individual has 12 to 16 gram of hemoglobin in every 100 ml of blood. So what is the percentage? That is 12 to 16 grams of hemoglobin a healthy individual will be having. Otherwise, if a person is not having that much percentage of hemoglobin, he or she will be suffering from anemia, okay? So these molecules play a significant role in the transport of respiratory gases. So in our that is the previous chapter, you have learned about the transportation of gases, right? So you have seen that how hemoglobin plays an important role, right? Transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So it plays an important role in the transport of the oxygen and carbon dioxide too. So RBCs have an average lifespan of 120 days. So what is the average lifespan? The lifespan of the RBC is what? It is 120 days. 120 days, okay? So after which they are destroyed in the spleen, okay? After that, where they are destroyed? After 120 days, they will be destroyed in the spleen, okay? Spleen. They will be destroyed in the spleen, which is known as graveyard of the RBCs, right? Yes, so this is all about the RBC. Now let us move into WBC, which is also known as what? Which is also known as leukocytes, okay? Which is also known as leukocytes. So WBC, that is leukocytes, are generally divided in two main categories, that is granulocytes and agranulocytes, okay? So WBC, they are divided into two types, that is granulocytes and granulocytes, okay? It is divided into two types. Now see here, so they are also known as white blood cells, as they are what? They are colorless due to the lack of hemoglobin, okay? So they are colorless because hemoglobin is absent in the WBC cell. So hemoglobin is absent. They are basically responsible for fighting against the foreign particles, okay? What is the main function of WBC? That is to fight against what? To fight against antigen, okay? Antigen. So these are our immune cells, okay? These are our immune cells. They can detect the foreign particle and they will fight against the foreign particles, okay? These are the antibodies, okay? So they are nucleated and are relatively lesser in number, which average that is 6,000 to 8,000 millimeter of blood, okay? So the number is 6,000 to 8,000 in case of the WBC, and they are nucleated, okay? They have nucleus. WBC has what? WBC has nucleus, right? So they are generally divided into two types, as you have seen, right? Granulocytes and agranulocytes. So next, see, neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils are what? These are all the granulocytes, okay? So neutrophils, then eosinophils, then basophils, right? Basophils. These are all what? These are all the granulocytes, okay? Now see, neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils are the granulocytes, while lymphocytes and monocytes are what? Lymphocytes and monocytes are agranulocytes. So they are divided into two types, that is WBC. Let me write here. Granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes and granulocytes. So granulocytes, under this what will come? That is neutrophils, then eosinophils and what? And basophils, okay? Now under our granulocytes, what will come? Lymphocytes and monocytes, okay? These two are coming under our granulocytes, okay? Lymphocytes and monocytes, okay? CYTS. These are coming under our granulocytes, right? So neutrophils are what? Neutrophils are the most abundant WBC cell, okay? They constitute 60 to 65% of the total WBC cell, okay? Whereas basophils are the least, okay? So more is what? Neutrophil is the more, okay? Neutrophil is more, whereas basophil are the least, okay? They are less, okay? What is the number of basophil? That is 0.5 to 1%, okay? Number of basophil is 0.5 to 1% in the WBC cell. Next, neutrophils and monocytes, that is 6 to 8%, are phagocytic cells. Now, what do you mean by this phagocytic cells? Phagocytic cells means they have the phenomenon by the help of which they can engulf the foreign cell, okay? So they have a finger-like projections like the amoeba, by the help of which they will engulf the foreign, that is antigen, when it comes in the body, so which destroys the foreign organisms entering the body. So basophils secrete what? Histamine, serotonin and heparin, and are involved in the inflammatory reactions, like in the time of allergy, okay? So during the time of allergy, so this basophils, this WBC, they secrete this histamine, serotonin and heparin, which helps to fight against the inflammatory reactions. And eosinophils resist infections and are also associated with the allergic reactions. Now lymphocytes are of two types. So there are two types of lymphocytes. What are the two types of lymphocytes? The two types of lymphocytes are B cell and T cell, okay? B cell and T cell. So these are the two types of lymphocytes. Clear? So see, both B and T lymphocytes are responsible for immune response of the body, right? So next, let us learn about platelets. So what is this platelets? Platelets are also called as thrombocytes. Okay, what is the other name of platelet? The other name of platelet is thrombocytes. The other name of platelet is thrombocyte and are cell fragments produced from megakaryocytes. Okay, so these are what? These are the special cells in the bone marrow. So from where the platelets are being produced? They are produced from the megakaryocytes. Okay, so blood normally contains what? Blood normally contains 1,50,000 to 3,50,000 of platelets. Okay, this is the number of platelets in the blood. Next, see that platelets can release a variety of substances, most of which are involved in the coagulation of blood. So, platelets releases variety of substances, but most of which is involved in what? Coagulation of blood. Okay, coagulation of blood. So a reduction in their number can lead to coagulating disorders, which will lead to excessive loss of blood from the body. So if the number of this coagulating factor are being reduced, then the blood will not, that is the blood flow will not stop in the body, okay, which will cause what? Which will lead to excessive loss of blood from the body. So see here, now let us talk about what? Let us talk about the blood groups. So far we have discussed about what? We have discussed about blood, and here you have learned about what? Here you have learned about the various components of the blood, right? That is the plasma and the various blood cells. Is that clear? Now let us move into what? Let us move into the blood group. So there are two types of, that is blood group is again divided into two groups, that is ABO blood group and RH grouping. So what is this ABO blood group? So you will see that different person having different blood groups, right? Some have got like A, blood group A, right? Blood group A, right? Then B, right? Some have AB, right? Some have AB positive, some have AB positive, some have AB negative, right? B positive or B negative, then O blood group, isn't it? So ABO blood group is based on the presence or absence of two surface antigens, okay? So on the basis of the antigen, so this blood group A will be having the antigen A, okay? Blood group B will be having the antigen B, okay? Antigen B. Blood group AB, okay? Blood group A, blood group B, blood group AB, okay? Blood group AB will be having antigen A and B, both, okay? So see here, similarly, based on what? Based on the presence of antigen, the blood groups are categorized, okay, based on the presence of antigen. So similarly, the plasma of different individuals containing two natural antibodies, so yeah, they contain two natural antibodies, proteins produced in response to antigens. Next, the distribution of the antigens and antibody in the four groups of blood are A, B, ABO and O. So see here, blood group A having the antigens of RBC A, right? Antigen A. Then antigen B, then antigen AB, and O blood group, they do not have any antigen, okay? So in O blood group, no antigen. O blood group does not have antigen. That is no antigen, right? So next, antibodies. So what are the antibodies present? Look here. The A blood group will be having antibody of anti-B, okay? So it can bind with this one, okay? So next, B will be having what? B will be having anti-A. So AB blood group, they do not have what? They do not have any antibody, whereas O will be having both anti-A and anti-B. Next, the donors, okay? So A blood group can donate blood to A and O, okay? Who are the donors, okay? Who can give to the A blood group, okay? So that is A and O, right? Then B blood group, okay, can be collected from the B and the O, and it can be collected from all, okay? AB blood group, that is AB, A, B and O. They can give blood to anyone, okay? And O is a universal donor. O is what? Universal donor. They can give to what? They can give to all. They can give to all, right? O blood group. Next. So next one is the rhesus blood group, okay, Rh. So another antigen, that is Rh. So Rh was what? Rh is a antigen. So another antigen, that is Rh, which is similar to the rhesus monkey, is also observed on the surface of RBC. So Rh is also an antigen which was observed on the RBC cells, okay, like the various antigen, like antigen A, antigen B, right? So Rh is also another antigen which was observed in the RBC. So such individuals are called Rh positive. So those individuals, they are having this Rh antigen. So those individuals having this Rh antigen, they will be called as Rh positive, okay, Rh positive. So clear text. So yes, and those in which antigen is absent, they are called as Rh negative. So those individual in which Rh antigen is, here it is present, right, and here it is absent, here it is absent. So they are called as what? Rh negative, okay, clear. Now see, an Rh positive, if exposed to Rh negative person, if exposed to Rh positive, then what will happen? It will form specific antibodies against the Rh antigen, right? So therefore it should be avoided, okay? So the Rh group should not be should also be matched before transfusion. So you know that blood is being transfused, right? So during that time, why blood test is being done? It is to see that whether the blood group is matching or not, right? So during that time it should be checked, okay? So next, a special case of Rh incompatibility has been observed between the Rh negative blood of a pregnant woman and Rh positive blood of the fetus. Now what happens in that case? If the mother is what? If the mother is Rh negative, okay, and she is pregnant, right? She is pregnant. So what happens in that case? And the pregnant, that is, if she will be having baby, right? And that baby is what? That baby is Rh positive, okay? The baby is Rh positive, but that is the mother and the baby are joined together with the help of placenta, right? With the help of placenta. So this Rh, that is the Rh positive blood cannot enter into the Rh negative. So see here, Rh antigens of the fetus do not get exposed to the Rh negative blood of the mother in the first pregnancy, as the two bloods are well separated by the placenta. So the mother, okay, this is the womb of the mother, here is the baby, right, here is the baby. So this is the placenta, it is the placenta, let's say, right? So it is being separated with the help of placenta. So the Rh positive, the baby is Rh positive, whereas the mother is what? The mother is Rh negative, okay, Rh negative. So the blood of the baby and the mother is well separated with the help of what? With the help of placenta. So this placenta is helping in the separation of these two Rh positive and Rh negative blood, okay. But what happens in the first pregnancy? It will not affect, okay, the first pregnancy it will not affect. But so this body of the mother has already recognized, right, body of the mother has already recognized the antigen. So the mother will start preparing the antibody for the Rh for the next time, right? So it is harmful for the second pregnancy of the mother, okay. However, during the delivery of the first child, there is a possibility of exposure of the maternal blood into the small amounts of the Rh positive blood from the fetus. So what happens during the delivery time? So there is a possibility that the Rh positive blood could come and enter into the mother's body, okay, during the delivery. So in such case, the mother starts preparing antibodies against the Rh antigen in her blood. So what happens in that case? The mother starts preparing the Rh antibody, okay, against this antigen, okay, against this antigen. The mother starts preparing what? The mother starts preparing antibody for that Rh antigen, okay. So it is harmful for the second pregnancy. For the second pregnancy, it will be harmful. It is not harmful for the first pregnancy, but the antibody which the mother is secreting, it is harmful for the second pregnancy. So it affects the baby. In case of her subsequent pregnancies, the Rh antibody from the mother can leak into the blood of the fetus and destroy the fetal RBC. So this antibodies which the mother is being preparing, right? So it can destroy what? It can destroy the fetal RBC. So what happens? This could be fatal to the fetus or could cause severe anemia and jaundice. So what it causes? Anemia and jaundice, okay? Jaundice. So what it does? It destroy what? It destroy the RBCs, okay? The RBC are being destroyed here, right? Is that clear? So what happens? The Rh antigen is not harmful during the first pregnancy, okay? During the first pregnancy, the mother has recognized, right? The mother has recognized that some of the blood can come here. So for that, the mother starts preparing this antibody, okay. Now this antibody which the mother has prepared, it is harmful for the second pregnancy, okay. So during that time, this antibody will go and attack the Rh positive that is the baby's blood, right? So during that time, it will kill the RBC cells, okay. So it will cause anemia and jaundice. So this condition is known as erythroblastosis fetalis, okay, that is killing the RBC cells. So what is this condition known as? Erythroblastosis fetalis. So this can be avoided by administering the anti-Rh antibodies to the mother immediately after the delivery of the first child. So in order to avoid this condition, immediately after the delivery of the first child, the mother should be what? The mother should be administered with the anti-Rh antibody. Clear? Anti-Rh antibody, right? So this is the blood group which we have seen, that ABO blood group and Rh, right? Rh grouping. Now let us learn about the coagulation of the blood. So how the blood is being coagulated. So if any cut in your finger, right? So after some period of time, you will see that the blood flow stops. So inside our blood, there are some protein fibers, okay, which helps in the coagulation of the blood. So what is this coagulation? So it is a clot or coagulum formed mainly of the network of threads called fibrins, in which dead and damaged formed elements of the blood are trapped, okay. So these are thread-like structures. As you can see, these are thread-like structures which are called as fibrin, okay, which are called as fibrin. So in which the dead and the destroyed RBC cells are being trapped. Clear? Dead and the destroyed RBC cells are being trapped. So fibrins are formed by the conversion of the inactive fibrinogens in the plasma by the enzyme thrombin. So how these fibrins are being formed? By the conversion of inactive fibrinogen and with the help of enzyme thrombin, okay. So thrombin in return are formed from the another inactive substance present in the plasma called the prothrombin. So the fibrins, how they are formed? Fibrins are formed from the fibrinogen. So this fibrinogen is inactive. So from this fibrinogen, the fibrin is being formed, right? Now, how these thrombins are being formed? So, fibrinogen by the help of enzyme thrombin, right? Now, this thrombin in return are formed from another inactive substance present in the plasma called prothrombin. So, how the thrombin are being formed? The thrombin are being formed, which is formed from where? Which is being formed from the, that is prothrombin, right? Prothrombin. It is also in the inactive form. Okay, it is also in the inactive form. So this is how it is being formed. So next, an enzyme complex thrombokinase is required for the above reaction. So all this reaction, it will take place with the help of this enzyme, that is thrombokinase. This complex is formed by a series of linked enzymes. It is also known as cascade proteins or cascade process, okay, involving a number of factors present in the plasma in an inactive state. Okay, all the factors, these are all called as factors. Okay, these are all called as factors, and these factors are present in the inactive state in the plasma. Okay, so they are present in inactive state in the plasma. Now there, what happens, the cascade of process, that is, it's a series of process which involves number of factors. An injury or trauma stimulates the platelets in the blood to release certain factors which activates the mechanism of coagulation. So whenever there is any injury, what happens, these factors will be released from the plasma and they will coagulate the blood. So certain factors released by the tissue or the sites of injury can initiate coagulation. Calcium ions also play a very important role here. Okay, so calcium ions are also important for the coagulation process, right? Next, it is that is lymph. Okay, next let us learn about another body fluid, that is the lymph. You have seen about blood, right? So far you have seen about blood. Now another body fluid is the lymph. Okay, lymph is an elaborate network of vessels that collects the fluid and drains it back to the major veins. Okay, so yes, so it is what it is collecting, the fluids, and it is again draining it into the veins. Okay, so the fluid present in the lymphatic system is called as lymph, and the lymph is a colorless fluid. Okay, it has no color. Okay, so it is a colorless fluid containing special lymphocytes which are responsible for the immune response of the body. And the lymph is also an important carrier for the nutrients and hormones. So what it carries? It carries the nutrients and the hormones. Okay, and hormones also. So fats are absorbed through lymph in lacteals present in the intestinal villi. So it also helps in the absorption of fats in the intestinal villi. So next, let us learn about the circulatory pathway. So as you know that there are two types of circulatory pathway. One is open and another one is closed, right? You have learned this so many times. What happens in the open circulatory system? The blood is directly, that is, the organs, all the body organs are directly bathed into the blood, right? Like in case of cockroach, in case of other insects and molluscs, they have what? They have the open circulatory system. They do not have blood vessels. Okay, in open circulatory system, there is no blood vessel, no proper blood vessel. All the organs are directly bathed into the blood. Okay, so open and closed, these are the two circulatory system, right? So open circulatory system is present in arthropods, right? Cockroach, insects, okay, molluscs, in which blood pumped by the heart passes through the large vessels into open space or the body cavity is called sinuses. You have seen the circulatory system in the cockroach, right? That there are various sinuses through which the blood is being again sent back to the heart, right? So it is being through the sinuses. Okay, now annelids and the chordates. Okay, so in case of mammals, in case of annelids, right, we have what? We have the a closed circulatory system. Okay, so we have a closed circulatory system where the blood is pumped by the heart. It is always circulated through a closed network of blood vessels. Through the blood vessels, our body is made up of what? Our body is made up of blood vessels, so through which the blood is being circulated. So in case of annelids also and chordates also, they have closed circulatory system. So this pattern is considered to be more advantageous as the flow of fluid cannot be precisely regulated. So this is most beneficial because the blood can be regulated properly in the body. And you know that is, in case of the human we have a 4-chambered heart, right? Whereas in case of fish they have 2-chambered heart, right? Then in case of reptiles, okay, they have three-chambered heart, except the crocodile, right? Crocodile has what? Crocodile has a four-chambered heart. It is exceptional in case of the reptiles. Now, birds also have four-chambered heart. That is the mammals. All mammals have four-chambered heart, right? So, by this we are done with today's topic. So, where you have learned about the body fluids, right? So, you have understood about the blood, that is what are the various components of the blood, lymph, and how the coagulation is taking place with the help of the various factors in the blood. Various factors are present, so that helps in the coagulation of the blood, right? And at last you have seen that there are two types of circulatory system. One is open circulatory system and another one is closed circulatory system. So I hope you have understood what is being discussed in today's session. So if you like this video, do like it and also share it with others. So I'll meet you in your next class, where we'll be learning about the human heart. So till then, take care and bye bye.